Have you ever wondered why we as a society are so focused on negativity, on wars, on politics, on negative news? We are often very divided as people instead of being one collective that works together for a greater good of the planet.
We are naturally tending to live in survival because this is how we were actually surviving on this planet. This is why we are sitting right here, right now. We just were collecting raspberries. They are super juicy, but sometimes you have a bug there or spider or something. And my body, naturally, I don't have to do anything. I just collect it. And when there's a spider, my body is so unpleasantly surprised about the bug that it naturally drops the whole juicy raspberry on the floor. And also, when I tasted some raspberries, they were not super ripe or they were actually a little bit moldy. So I immediately spat it out. And I did not do that. This is my body super programmed to do these things. We don't have to do anything when we go outside of our home, outside of our golden cage where we live in. We don't have to do anything. Our body does everything for us. I'm sitting here, and if there would be something happening around me, my body is so programmed to react immediately and act on if the tree would fall or something. That's survival. My body's programmed to survive all the time. It's super highly evolved machine for survival.
Our whole human species, until recently, 99% of our existence has been survival. We've been constantly focused on shelter, on food, on surviving. And now that we are actually, for the first time ever, living in an environment where we have enough food, we have shelter, we are safe, we have an abundance of everything we could wish for, we start to make up things in our head because our body has been programmed so much. It's really hard to just separate us from this survival and just be fine and happy and positive all the time. So what do? Our brain is naturally starting to figure out things that we can stress about. Oh my gosh, this horrible war is happening. Oh my gosh, the politicians are doing this and that.
Oh my gosh, my neighbor has better lawn than I do.
And something like this, my neighbor has a better lawn than me, is usually something that wouldn't affect your livelihood. But because we're so programmed, we start to create a lion out of it, a lion that is about to attack us, and we are fighting for our survival. So we create stress emotions. Survival emotions. We are feeding our body these chemicals that are telling it we are in danger. We have to do something. We have to run, fight, or hide.
We naturally know that we need these reactions. We need to supply our body with certain reactions like, oh my gosh, this is falling, go away, move, collect raspberries. And okay, I immediately reacted. My hand just dropped the raspberry and we
And you
need this.
screamed.
And I screamed a little bit. We don't do this in our super comfort, and the body needs a little bit of that because if we didn't do that, we wouldn't be priming the brain and we wouldn't survive in the next generations probably. So sometimes it's very good to be aware of it and acknowledge it and maybe do some things which will support these reactions like balancing exercises, or somebody is throwing ball at you and you will just surprisingly catch and stuff like that.
Dr. Joe Dispenza says something that I really like. He said that survival was once very adaptable for our life, and it became now very unadaptable. Meaning that when we are going to the meeting to speak to our boss and we are having these survival emotions, they're not contributing to our survival in any way. So we need to learn how we can deal with these survival emotions so they don't control us any longer.
And of course, through survival emotions, people are the most being able to control and manipulate it. And that's what's used in all media and everywhere around us. It's just pressure, time pressure especially, and some pressure about health and whatever, those basic emotions. So when there is going to be demand for survival emotions, which are highly addictive, it's more addictive than any drug. It's more addictive than sugar or whatever. When there is going to be demand, there's always going to be supply. And those suppliers will be just fighting over their consumers all the time.
Basically, the whole human species is addicted to stress. And when the media outlets that exist, they know, okay, if we create something really negative, something very horrific, people are going to engage much more. They're going to share it more. They're going to read it longer. They're going to be more on our side. Okay, let's focus on these things more instead of that beautiful story where a person saved a kitten that didn't get that much engagement. So let's focus on these negative things.
It could be like this. did you hear this? Did you hear what happened to Lucy? Did you hear that? Blah, 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 blah.
That's how it starts.
This is how it starts. And you would never say, oh, Lucy is living beautiful life and she just baked really, really nice cake and stuff like that.
Boring.
We just think it's boring. Our brain is boring. It doesn't produce chemicals of stress. And every stressful information stresses your brain. And this is very important information for you in this video. If you could take one thing away from this video for yourself, for your life, you have to be aware that every time you hear bad information, you are actually producing survival emotions and producing survival chemicals right in this body, in very body which you are having. So turn off the news. Don't pay attention to that. And try to make yourself busy. Try to make your body busy with something else, something pleasant, something which makes you tired but not exhausted, something which makes you be a little bit motivated but not extremely adrenaline, hyperactive.
And that's why we go to the movie theaters, right? That's why we like action movies and dramas and telenovelas, because we just love to still have this stress in our life because we get to feel something.
Mm-hmm.
But there are also other ways how we can feel elevated emotions in our life.
More noble, more elegant, because of course there is a lot of movies, and I, for example, like The Knives Out, comparing to Jason Statham movies, which are absolutely nonsense for my brain to see how many body counts is there. And I don't know, it's just, we love this as people to watch it, how much stress and pressure and time pressure is there. But actually, we could move to more sophisticated lifestyle right now. And this is why you're watching this video. You actually are also a little bit fed up with these kind of emotions and people living in these emotions. And every time you catch yourself thinking about these emotions or hearing some bad news, you can always self-regulate and say, okay, this is not mine. I'm producing nice emotions in my body. I trust and I surrender, and this is nice and that is nice. And you immediately supply your body with different kind of emotions, which are much more beneficial for you and your health and especially your environment as well.
When I stopped reading the news, my father always told me, hey, you have to be informed what's going on in the world. This is a part of your life as well. It's important.
But my father too.
Yeah, but it's not really important. It is not important for your life. And if we engage with these things that happen 5,000 kilometers away from us that we cannot influence, we're just going to contribute to that negative energy. So we want to take ourselves out of this and focus on these elevated emotions that we can have to not live in survival, but in creation.
We are creating certain charge through our emotions and chemicals in our body, around our body. We create certain charge. And imagine that you charge your body through television and everybody else is charged the same way. What kind of charge are you having when you still hear about somebody fighting somewhere or murdering somewhere else? Just think about it.
So what we would love for you to do now is to think of something that you really want to create in your life, something that is very meaningful to you. So you have a clear focus. You can put your attention into one direction that is really constructive and creative for you, instead of allowing the energy to flow on all kinds of sides, because everybody will want to have some, and they're going to be able to catch you with survival stories and survival emotions super easily. But if you have a clear focus, if you have a clear goal where you're moving towards, you're going to be super resilient to these things. Let us know in the comments what you think about this, if you have ever thought about this living in survival or living in creation. And if you would love to share some more time with us, we also recommend you this video here next.